I kind of got late to this. We talked about this on Tuesday night's main event, but I wanted to discuss this. So Snow White, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I have any interest in seeing that shit. And if I had children, that's not the version that I would want them to appreciate anyway. It's got to be not, and it ain't just a tokenization shit. That's of course a hilarious part of it. Who you can't say anything with this character, and them doing it to this character should show all these fucking retards out there who think that, well, they only do it because a best person for the job. No. Everything that they do when they do race changes and all that are purposefully. So when they were race change, historical characters like Anne Boleyn or animated characters like as they've done, and in this case, a character whose literal name and the fact that they exist is centered around how white their skin is. Bury those retarded ass arguments and stop with the attempted gaslight. Just give it a rest. Look at this goofball ass shit. So they went this route, and because you can't put out anything without offending a certain demographic, I'm going to just read. It's covered about in the comments. John F. Trent, shout out. Walt Disney Company instantly cave in to woke criticism from Game of Thrones actors Peter Dinklage for the upcoming live-action Snow White film, starring race swap Snow White. Dinklage on What the Fuck with Mark Maron, where he stated, well, it's really a progressive cast. Literally no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback. They're very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So he continues, take a step back and look at what you're doing. It makes no sense to me because you're progressive in one way, but you're still making the fucking backward story of seven dwarfs living in the cave. What the fuck are you doing, man? Now, again, I have no idea what the issue is here with seven dwarves living in the cave. It's kind of integral to that story. And I know those of us that are in our space that are talking about his hypocrisy, where he's had no problem like utilizing the fact that he's a little man, and advancing his career and some of the movie depictions that he had. I don't even want to talk about that. But let's talk about this part right here. He says, have I done nothing to advance the cause for my soapbox? Now, if the story, he later in the podcast, Dinklage added, if you tell the story of Snow White and it's the most fucked up, cool, progressive spin on it, let's do it all in, but I just don't know. So here's what happened after this. He says that little bit about, hey, look at me, little man, what was me? A Disney spokesperson or spokesman responded to Dinklage's comment, and the Hollywood Reporter said, to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, which again, I didn't know what stereotypes were there. Or if negative ones, let's say that. Not all stereotypes are negative, right? Like I like the fuck out of watermelon, for example. And I'm black, and I don't give a fuck. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I don't like water. Oh, yes, no, I like watermelon. Watermelon's fucking delicious. Are you fucking crazy? Anyway, reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, says we are taking a different approach with these seven characters and have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community. So they don't want to step on any toes, so they're going to consult with the dwarfism community to tell a story that's already fucking been told about seven dwarves and Snow White. Guys, think about it like this. Your favorite movies and all of that you guys know and love, and not even the ones that like were mildly offensive, though the best art seems to have been anyway. Like, so we're not talking about just those. But a lot of you guys' favorite movies, even like for me with Big Lebowski, like those movies cannot be created today. Because Hollywood is so interested in not stepping on toes, and they care about representation and diversity and all these other ridiculous notions. So you can't even tell those stories in Hollywood. Now, I'm not saying the people that are maybe going to be Hollywood adjacent, because we're going to create alternatives at the end of the day. They can tell whatever fuck stories they want. But with Hollywood, everything is mundane. Everything is going to be, again, because they have to, or they're trying to appeal to this audience of people that fake be offended. Now, I don't know what direction they're going to go with this, but they've basically told you, okay, yeah, we already told the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and there's negative stereotypes that we don't want to depict. So you can bet your bottom dollar it's probably not. I mean, hell, if this tokenized Snow White didn't give it away, this ain't gonna have nothing to do with something that's maybe an updated, modernized version of what you maybe saw when you were young and you want your children to see and be a part of. It's not gonna be anything like that. But this is something that is happening across all mainstream industries, where they are sitting here and their line of thinking is, I can't create this, or we can't create this unless we consult with a specific demographic, a specific part of the community who's going to want to put their own spin on it and all that. And, we got to make sure we have the appropriate line of thinking, which is modern social justice and authoritarian leftism. Good art just can't be good art anymore for them. Now, I'm telling you that it can be done, and it will be done by the alternatives, but don't expect that from the handlers right now. It's just, you're not going to get that. All this art is going to be mundane, predictable and mundane. Now, predictable in the sense of we know that it's happening, not predictable in the sense that they're doing like some accurate depiction, but predictable in the sense that we know what they're going to do. Like they're telling you. To that, I just say, let it die, guys. Just let it go. Let it die. These companies I know it's boring because we see it keep happening and happening and happening. But those like art sort of renaissance eras that we've had throughout like the 90s, 80s, 90s, those are long gone. You can't have that anymore for them because they can't create it, because they don't want to offend people. The only way you're going to get it is like alternatives pop up and say, I'm going to do it, and you can get offended all you want. I'm still going to fucking do it. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.